On July 1st, 2025, a telescope in Chile tripped an alarm that shouldn't go off often. The Atlas survey flagged a moving point of light with the wrong kind of path. Not an ellipse, not a local, a line from somewhere else. Within hours, the minor planet community started whispering a label that still feels unreal. 3IATLAS, the third confirmed object from another star to cruise through our neighborhood. We've had to before, Oumuamua and Borisov, but both slipped in and out like strangers who never made eye contact. This one, we caught it on the way in. That changes everything. And here is the quiet part nobody likes to admit. Interstellar objects don't owe us anything. They don't slow down for a close-up. They don't follow our rules. But this time, the timing favors us. We have months, not days, to watch it heat up and tell us what it's made of. That's not luck. That's preparation finally meeting opportunity. And it's why astronomers everywhere dropped what they were doing. But the first clue wasn't how fast it moves. It was what it looks like when you stare long enough. Gemini North grabbed early images. Hubble followed. What they saw wasn't a dead rock. It was activity, a drop cocoon of dust peeling away from an icy core as sunlight did its work. A classic comet behavior. Just not from around here. You could call it a snowball from someone else's winter. The coma is there, the light is diffuse. Nothing in those frames screams machine. It whispers chemistry. That's the honest read so far. Then the color talk started. Photographers caught hints of emerald as it brightened. Comets often glow green when diatomic carbon breaks apart in sunlight. But spectroscopists haven't locked that in for Atlas yet. Some point to cyanide signatures. Reported in August. Others say, slow down. Wait for better spectra near perihelion. Perfect. Mystery is useful until evidence puts it in a box. If the colors are the first tease, the object's age is the second, and it's the kind that gets under your skin. Run the clock backward and the trail points to the Milky Way's thick disk and older. Puffier component of our galaxy filled with ancient stars. That origin, if confirmed, pushes the material in 3I, Atlas to 7+ billion years old, with researchers giving it roughly 2/3 odds of being that ancient. Imagine holding a shard of ice older than Earth's continents. That's what has everyone leaning in. Not because it's alien tech, but because it's alien geology. Age isn't just a number here. All material means old chemistry. Fewer heavy elements. Different formation history. If this thing really formed around a star that lived fast and early. Its ices could carry a recipe from a chapter of the universe we've never sampled up close. That's the real headline, not fear, access. And while we're all staring at what it's made of, the clock is still ticking toward where it's going. It isn't drifting. It's threading a needle. The path swings in from the dark, cuts under our orbital lanes, and brushes the inner system like a hand over piano keys. We get a glance near Mars. Then a long blink where the sun steals the view. That blackout is no accident of storytelling. It's geometry. When anything skims behind the sun, even the best eyes on Earth go blind. Telescopes wait. Instruments idle. Patience becomes data. But the sky never has a single vantage point. Machines round Mars don't share or glare. They'll watch as the coma swells and the dust thickens. They'll time flickers in brightness we can't see from here. A small change in color. A tiny surge at the wrong wavelength. A wobble that says jetting gas is pushing one side harder than the other. That's the kind of clue that turns a mystery into a measurement. Then comes the pivot, the close pass to the sun. The heat spike. The chemistry sprint, the moment when inert ice becomes a living halo. We won't see it in real. Time from Earth, That's fine. We'll catch it on the exit ramp, when it reappears in cooler light, dragging the evidence of what just happened. Like footprints in powder, the route tells you what it does. The heat tells you who it is. You can tell a lot about a visitor by how it handles sunlight. Some objects shrug, some crack. The ancient ones tend to wear armor baked by ages of cosmic rays, so the first heat only teases out the weakest vapors. Then the shield fractures, pressure vents through faults. Plumes spin into space like threads pulled from a sweater. That's when the coma stops being polite. It swells, it breathes, it throws light in every direction and dares you to interpret it. Look for asymmetry. A coma that isn't centered, a tail that points a few degrees off the expected line. That tilt can mean the dust isn't just following the sun's pressure. It's getting shoved by its own outgassing. Like a paddle wheel, spin rates change. Brightness flickers with rotation, the cadence becomes a heartbeat, and every beat whispers the same thing. Composition. Carbon chains leave one fingerprint. Cyanogen leaves another. Sodium, another. If the glow leans green over time, we know certain bonds are breaking. If it flashes blue in narrow bands. Different story. Even the dust size matters. Fine dust drifts fast and paints long curtains. Chunky grains hang close and fall back toward the nucleus like snow that forgot which way is down. None of this needs exotic explanations. It just needs patience and spectra. And here's the part most people miss. Quiet can be its own message. If an object that big warms up and stays shy, that tells us the volatiles are buried deep or long gone. It says the skin is old, hard and stingy. That's a result too. Nature is allowed to surprise us with restraint. The surface speaks with light. The interior answers with timing. Any time something arrives from beyond our sun, someone will whisper the same question. What if it isn't natural? That whisper gets clicks. It also gets in the way. Here's the line we keep. Curiosity is welcome. Evidence is required. If an object talks to us in radio, we'll hear it. If it dodges with thrust, not gas, we'll see the math slip. If shards separate in a way that ignores physics, we'll chase that too. Until then, we call it what it looks like. A comet on a wartime ticket through our sky. There's a better. Thrill anyway. Natural doesn't mean simple. A 40,000-year story can live in a gram of dust. A million orbits round a lost star can hide in a single ratio of carbon to nitrogen. That is the kind of danger we love, the risk that a measurement you run at midnight rewrites an origin chapter by dawn. No villains, no conspiracies, just the high of being first to know. So we keep the speculation in its lane. We welcome the what-if as fuel for designing clever tests. Then we hand the microphone back to the data. If it contradicts us, we let it. If it humbles us, we thank it. That's not just science. That's survival in a universe that doesn't bend for certainty. The extraordinary claim isn't the point. The extraordinary proof is. We've been here before, just not with this much lead time. Oumuamua showed up unannounced, left faster than our questions could keep up, and taught us how to argue about the unknown. Borisov arrived blazing a classic. Icy wanderer that behaved like family despite its foreign passport and taught us what true interstellar normal might look like. This one lands between those lessons. We have time to watch the warm-up, time to link light curves across continents, time to tune radio rays and infrared eyes. Time to let Mars and the outer probes pitch in when Earth can't. That means fewer last-minute panics and more clean comparisons. How fast it brightens, how sharply it fades, how the color pivots near the sun, whether jets come from one hemisphere or many. It also means calibration for the decade ahead. Surveys are about to flood us with Interstellar. Cameos, we'll see small, dim ones that never flare. We'll see dusty brutes that shed like comets at pre-alien parties. With each pass, our models get braver, our instruments get pickier, our checklists get tighter. If you're building a playbook for visitors from other suns, this is Chapter 3, the one where confidence starts to feel deserved. We didn't get slower, we got ready. Here's the thought I can't shake. We talk about discoveries as if we're the main characters. But every time an interstellar object cuts through our sky, the roles flip. We are the exhibit. Our sun is the lamp. Our planets are the labels along the wall. The visitor doesn't need to be artificial to make that true. It only needs to pass by, untouched, carrying the cold biography of someplace else. So we stand on a rotating rock and take notes. We argue cleanly. We publish fast. We admit what we don't know and go get it. If the glow turns out to be simple carbon chemistry, great. If the dust counts come in strange, better. If the object stays stubbornly quiet during its hottest hour, that's a story too. A shard older than our oceans owes us no drama. It gives us something rare instead. Perspective. When it reappears from the sun's glare, we'll be waiting with fresh calibrations and steadier hands. We'll read the afterglow like ash lines in a kiln. We'll compare before and after and see what the heat took, what it spared, and what it remade. Then, one night, it will thin into distance and turn back into a number in the catalogue. That's fine. The catalogue is how we remember where wonder has been. And when the next stranger comes and there will be and next will be better hosts, quicker. Kinder to the unknown. Hungrier for proof than for headlines. Because the point isn't to tame the duck. It's to understand what it's been carrying all along. The sky doesn't repeat itself. It rhymes. Listen closely.